Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Pastor Carlos Malley. I'm the outreach pastor of the Circle Church of Alexandria, and we're here again for another Manhood Monday. I wanted to speak from the text, 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verses 10, and it says, in fact, when we were with you, this is what we commanded you. If anyone isn't willing to work, he should not eat. We're going to talk about the topic of personal responsibility today. I can remember in the year 2000 when I graduated from college, coming home to Gulfport, Mississippi, and my grandfather sitting me down. He was very proud of me, and he expressed, how happy he was that I had finally graduated from college. He knew I could do it. He was there to cheer me on. But he had a real heart-to-heart, man-to-man discussion with me that following week. And he said, okay, son, you've now graduated from college. He said, we've done everything that we can do to help you, and you've done your part. He said, however, it is now time for you to spread your wings. And that means that it's time for you to leave. And he said, I will give you 6 to 12 months to get on your feet. But you have to go after that. You have to leave my house. And that was fair. I mean, here it was, I was an adult. I graduated college, and here I was moving back into his house as a grown man. And he said something that stuck out to me. He said, it is no way for you to become a grown man if you live with another grown man. And he said, so I think it's fair for you to save your little money and get out there and just make mistakes. You can always come back. You always have a hot meal waiting for you. You can always wash your clothes, but you got to get out of here, man. And every month that passed by, he would remind me, hey, you got 11 months. Hey, you got 10 months. Well, by the time he got to 9 months, I had already made a decision that I was going to enlist in the Air Force. And ironically, I left 8 months later, a month before my deadline to get out of his house. And it was the best decision I'd ever made in my life. I have been working since I was 16 years old, and I'm approaching now 20 years of serving in the military. Now, while I serve in the reserves and I work in the federal government for the Department of Justice, I've always had this sense of working. And that came from my grandfather, who taught me at an early age that a man works. A man provides, a man protects, a man ensures that his family has provision. And as you see here, as Paul is telling the church of Thessalonica, here they were working, here they were not even, had every right to ask them to compensate them for the teachings that they were giving them through the gospel. They wanted to be an example to that community of what hard work looks like. And that's what we have to be as kingdom men. We have to be an example to our wives, to our children, to the community of what hard work looks like. And so I was watching this week this series on Netflix called Chef's Table, the barbecue segment. There's a lot of episodes out there, but this particular one was Chef's Table Barbecue. And I was watching about this woman by the name of Tootsie Tomanetz. She was an 85-year-old custodian that worked at the local high school, but she was also known as one of the top pit masters in the state of Texas. So by day, she worked at a custodian at the local school. And by night, all throughout the night and all throughout the week, she worked as a pit master for this place called Snow's Barbecue. They only open one day a week on a Saturday in the morning hours from like 8 to maybe 12, 1 o'clock. And she spent that whole week cooking food for that one day. And people come from far and wide, all throughout Texas, all throughout the country, all over the world to come and eat some of Tootsie Tomanetz's barbecue. And I thought about it. She's 85 years old. 85. She's well beyond her working years, and yet here it was, she was still carrying 2 jobs. She didn't have to work. Her husband had passed away, her son had passed away. She was certainly well off, well-to-do, was a business owner most of her life, but she chose to do that to stay alive. And I want to ask you men, what are we doing? What are we doing to stay alive? What are we doing? God has given us, if God has woke you up today, if God has given you strength, if God has given you a sound mind, what is your excuse? That is the question that I asked myself when I saw Tootsie Tomanets getting up every single morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes going to bed at, 12 midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, because she was cooking food for Snow's barbecue. I asked myself the question, what is my excuse? And the answer is there is no excuse. If you are well-bodied and able and you are a man, then we need to be kingdom men, and we need to be working. We need to be working smarter, not harder. We need to be working to provide. We need to be working to leave a legacy. We need to be working to show our sons and our daughters what hard work looks like. We need to be working hard to provide for our wives. We need to be working hard to support our communities. And so our topic today is personal responsibility with a sub-theme of hard work. So I pray as you watch this Manhood Monday that it would motivate each of you, each of us, to get out there in the grind and work, because that's what kingdom men do. I close by saying, follow me and I will make you fishers of men. God bless you. Have a wonderful week.